Uh, Hello everyone. My name is King. It's my first time on broadcast.
And what's your Chinese name?
And my Chinese name is Chen Chang Wang. My Chinese name is Jianzhong Wang. Wang Jianzhong.
That's what the Australian people were calling him because of the spelling of his name.
Oh my gosh. Well, what do you use to spell it, Kim? Do you use Juin or do you use Pinyin or what?
I use Juin.
They use like the old system.
The Wade Boggs or whatever.
Yeah, Wade Giles.
Wade Giles. I always call it Wade Boggs, and Wade Boggs is an old baseball player. I don't know why I always do that, but
Wade Giles is the name of like the system that Taiwan used to use to make Chinese words in English letters.
well, they still use it on some street signs and stuff, and it's
really?
it's
It's different from
atrocious.
Pinyin, though.
It's the same like if you go into Zhongli, where close to where I live, it will be CH, so it looks like. So you have a bunch of foreigners that call the place Chung Li.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, they'll be
I know.
like, this
It's
is Chung Li.
Taipei,
It's-
not Taipei.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. And the same thing with Kaohsiung. A lot of people call it
This is her name
Kaohsiung.
in Pinyin.
Okay.
In
See. Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
Okay,
So this
got
is
it.
Pinyin and this is Wade Giles. So it's like two different systems.
This
one, I think it's
it's an
easier to read.
it's an atrocious system.
Yeah, because otherwise you have people calling you Wang Tian.
Nah, Wang Chin Chan.
they throw their like garbage like fake accent on there. They're just like, oh, your name is Wang Ting Tong, hey.
Jesus Christ.
That's people, man. They don't actually know what like Chinese sounds like.
Yeah, that's right.
Especially
Yeah, so-
Taiwanese Chinese is quite different than even mainland stuff. So
Yeah, so let me ask you something. Most of your friends in Colac, when you were living in small town Australia, were they mainlanders or Taiwanese?
They're all Taiwanese.
Oh, really?
Some of them are mainlander. They take the 457 visa and take their wife to here to work. They work in the meat factory.
So do you guys like all hang out in like a big group together?
You mean mainland?
Yeah. Because like in Taiwan, it would be weird. I mean, having a mainland friend, I feel like is kind of like having a foreigner friend.
Yeah, it's weird. We didn't hang out together.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
interesting.
Why? Like, because you hate each other? Just kidding. Why?
Yes.
Just like culturally different.
Yeah, it's different. We won't talk to each other. We won't hang out with each other.
Really?
It's like different country.
Yeah, I know, but like, okay, for instance, here, like, I meet somebody from Canada. Like, I have lots of friends from Canada or the UK or something like that. I'm not like, oh.
So
Like,
do you mean like if you speak same language, you have to hang out together?
Of course not. But I'm saying just because you're from different countries doesn't mean you shouldn't or you wouldn't hang out together. That's what I mean.
We probably have some like politic
Differences.
perspectives.
Yeah.
Just like so, we won't hang out together.
Really?
But they are not bad people.
Of course.
We just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we won't hang out together.
You just disagree about the status of your own home country.
Yeah, it's extra bad when like one of them is like basically trying to like saying that they're gonna take over your country. It makes it a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like an extra level. I would feel like. Not to mention that they say "la ji tong." What the fuck is that? You know?
Oh, yeah.
垃圾
Say
garbage
"laji,"
bin.
yeah. Well, there's lots of different words in China.
I'm just kidding. I that was just a joke, but
调羹.
it does sound stupid. I think.
They don't know. I asked for 汤匙 and they don't know what I'm saying. They use
汤匙?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do they say there for that?
调羹. 调羹.
I don't know. It's the first time I hear
Yeah,
it.
Really?
it sounds
Yeah.
terrible.
挑梗,
羹.
挑梗.
调羹. Like 羹, like I'll show you. I'm probably saying it wrong. 调羹.
Interesting.
That's what they used there.
Yeah, that's
Never.
so strange.
Never heard that before.
And what else? He always say okay bong. And there they say they have another one. Bong tie什么?
Bong Dai is that the brand name?
No, bong dai is just bandage.
Oh, okay.
Bandage. They say 创可贴. 创可贴.
Oh. Yeah, I heard that before.
If you say okay bong, I asked it's the same thing and they have no idea. I say, oh, that's what we say
just
in Taiwan.
don't talk to them.
Yeah, but like when I was
He was in
traveling
mainland
there-
though. Yeah, if you're in mainland, you got to talk to some people.
And what else? Pineapple. Here we say fungi.
Only
They say
boli, right? Oh no.
Bolo. They say
Bolo.
bolo.
Yeah.
Yeah, but bolo actually is a bread name in China in Taiwan. Bolo 面包.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a lot of weird things like that. Oh, North Korea they said Chaoxian instead of Beihan.
Oh really?
Beihan. Yeah, nobody says Beihan. You've never heard that before?
Oh, I never hang out with.
You should go there. It's so different, man. That's why like I don't understand. I don't particularly understand why people would want to reunite because Chaoxian. Because
the cultures are so different, man.
Yeah, if I have money, I would go there.
Chaoxian. Oh yeah. See, look, even the pronunciation.
So can you guys broadcast can sponsor me to go mainland?
Sponsor you? It's not expensive to go there, man. You could go to Xiamen for like maybe like 6,000 NT.
You have to if you go there on our dime, you have to like interview all these people. We don't want you to we don't want you to get arrested though.
Yeah, you probably get
If you're
arrested.
if you couldn't be any
time
way like connected with us because if the Chinese government knew what we were saying on our podcast, they would
That's too bad. You already said your Chinese name.
what we've said like when we play video games with people from mainland, they would arrest you in a second.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god!
I showed you before, right? When I played Battlefield, I just like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we troll pretty hard against the mainlanders.
You shouldn't repeat any of the words.
Yeah, probably not. I would get in trouble going there because I always, even in my class, like when kids wear Winnie the Pooh shirts, I always say, why do you have a Shidada shirt on? And they say, what? And I'm like Xi Jinping, and they're like, no, this is Winnie Xiong, and I'm like, no, it's Xi Jinping, you know, right? And they usually don't get it, but it's funny for me at least.
Just like to torture your students.
You know, different strokes for different folks, different words. You know, I wouldn't say torture. I would just say maybe harass.
Emotionally abuse.
Harass. Yeah, emotionally abuse is okay.
All right, so Kim, since you're on, let's hear about your perspective of Australia. Tell us why you hate Australian people.
Finally. I thought you're gonna keep talking about mainland. Australia is a nice place to visit, and
I'm just plugging here.
they have good salary there, and people are nice. And
Yeah, but what about country people? You seem to have a lot of complaints about the country people.
country people,
Yeah.
they're just like bogan. They are not like.
Okay, bogan is a word for like it's like hillbillies or
Like a redneck.
yeah, like a redneck.
They are just like more. I don't know how to say that. Like wide than the city people.
More wise.
Well, wide.
Wide.
Wild.
What do you mean?
Oh,
wild?
wild,
Oh,
crazy.
Wild,
Okay.
yeah. Like they go to like they go fishing at the weekend, they go camping on the weekend, they go horse riding on the weekend.
This sounds fun.
Yeah,
Man.
that sounds like a good time. That sounds like what I used to do when I was in the States.
Yeah, but you're also kind of a country person.
Yeah, I'm definitely probably more country than either of you.
And it's like they're friendly. This is like
You don't need to say the truth. I mean, you don't need to say nice things.
Yeah, you don't have to candy code it. No one in Australia is ever going to hear this shit.
oh really? Okay.
You can say
Hey,
whatever
say
you
whatever you want. We have 80 followers on Facebook right now. No one cares.
Okay, fuck all the Aussie man. Just kidding. Some people are nice, some people are bad, but
That's like every country.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I only
everywhere's
met
like
like
that.
few bad people there. Like most of them are cool and nice.
Debbie.
Yeah, one of them called Debbie is a fixie tester,
A what?
physical tester.
Let's not. Maybe we shouldn't slander people.
Yeah, just some bad guy there, but
Just
Yeah.
some people everywhere, though.
Of
right?
course, yeah.
Okay, so let's say you're talking to a Taiwanese person, or even a Chinese person, or an American who wants to go to Australia for a working holiday. So what would you tell them they should know before they go?
they should practice more English and be more responsible for themselves.
What do you mean by that? Like being good with money?
No, I mean like when you go out, when you go abroad, you represent your country. Everything you do represent your country. So don't do some like stupid thing, like naughty, like immature thing.
Are you speaking from personal experience, Cam?
No,
yeah, give us.
Yeah, I speak from personal experience, but not me. It's like I saw dumb people do shit, do dumb shit.
Like what?
Yeah,
Like what?
Like,
Give us some examples and name names.
Yeah, let's. I want full names. I want Xing Chong Chen's name.
So it's like I work at lamp factory, and I have some Taiwanese colleague.
For the record,
yeah.
it's not a lamp factory. It's a lamb slaughterhouse for the animal lambs.
Yeah.
Before I came to visit him there, I thought he was saying a lamp factory.
It's my mistake. So my colleague, so the supervisor yell at my colleague. It's not like yell. It's just like bring like something about bring something about my colleague.
It's okay. Keep going.
And my colleague Taiwanese, she just mad and say I quit. I won't come. I will show up tomorrow.
Okay.
I'll quit. So it's like this very immature stuff. Like you shouldn't do that.
We shouldn't quit.
No, you are just a doubt. This is just a small thing.
Just being too sensitive.
I mean, the supervisor didn't like being mean to her. Just the normal stuff. Like you didn't do it right, so the supervisor tells you to do right. You just accept it and be a doubt. Don't be like this fucking child. Like
so harsh, man.
Yeah, and she didn't show up tomorrow.
She actually quit?
Yes.
That's a little intense, man. I don't know.
And some dumb people there, they're trying to steal stuff from the store. Cause the store there is automatic. You don't have to.
Oh, you mean like self-checkout?
Yeah, self-checkout.
So you think Taiwanese people were stealing?
Some of them actually doing that thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't think. Wow, I'm kind of surprised. I didn't think Taiwanese people did that kind of stuff.
And
shoplifting.
Something like big news recently. It's like put the needle in the strawberry. Do you know that?
No.
Yeah, it's a big news. They put the needle on the strawberry, and the 4-year-old kid ate it.
What?
And almost dead.
Who did that? You mean Australian people?
They say like some former
Your former Colac worker?
Former worker did that.
Did they kill anyone?
No, almost dead.
Why would? Well, oh my gosh, I don't know why.
And I think like almost like it's not like about Taiwanese, just about Taiwanese. Like almost every strawberry picker is from other country.
Hey shit. I'm the wrong person. It's okay. It's still recording in the back. Just cut it out.
Yeah. So I mean, if you go out, just be responsible.
Maybe just don't eat strawberries. I don't understand that kind of shit though, man. Why would you like just kill somebody?
They just want like doing a prank or revenge to his company.
That's
like that.
Really bad.
So stupid.
I don't know what's going on, man.
My internet is just crashed, so I'm talking on my phone right now. I think maybe Skype shut us down for talking about Xi Jinping. You know, they found out that we don't have any love for Xi Jinping, and now they're shutting us down. What the? Yeah, my internet's totally out right now. There's no connection or anything. All right. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I mean, it'll be okay. Yeah, what were you talking about?
Like some foreign workers in Australia were doing like really crazy things. Like some strawberry pickers, I guess, were putting needles in strawberries, you know, to try and punish their company.
So that was foreign workers.
Well, he said almost all the. Here, Kim, you can say it yourself.
So almost all the workers from others country, and others country like 50% is Taiwanese. So
50% of strawberry pickers are Taiwanese.
I think so many.
Or 50% of strawberry pickers, or 50% of foreign workers.
50% of foreign workers.
It's good you have us here, eh?
Don't worry, I'll edit it out. It's fine. Don't fuck it.
Yeah, Jordan does a good job editing, actually.
Thanks, mate.
I do an average job, but thanks. I appreciate that. I'm gonna leave that in. I won't edit that out.
What the compliment?
The compliment, yeah, of course.
You deserve it.
Thanks, babe. Thanks, babe. So they were putting. Yeah, I had heard about this on a few websites. They were putting needles into the strawberries, and like they freaked out. Like people stopped buying strawberries.
Yeah, and actually people stopped putting needles in other fruits like banana. Something like, I don't know, watermelon.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and there's the meme online. It's like a bowl, Australia salad, fruit salad, and it's a bowl of needles.
Oh my god, that's intense.
So I mean, like, if you want to go outside, just remember. Be responsible and be careful. Yeah. There's a lot of like a scammer, like a liar, like a bad guy there.
Yeah,
don't trust anyone.
Just so negative.
I mean, you have to.
I mean, he's not totally wrong though. You really do have to think about how you're going to represent your country. I mean, to draw a parallel to our situation in Taiwan, there's a lot of shithead foreigners here that like make us look bad, or like you talked about when you went to rent an apartment in Kaohsiung. There's people that won't rent to foreigners.
This is so bad. I'm so lucky I found this place because most of them didn't respond to my messages as soon as they saw my picture, or like made appointments and then stood me up.
Yeah.
Or they tried to make excuses.
Yeah, because
no, I don't think you'll like this place.
Yeah, speaking as much Chinese as you do, it's probably hard for them to realize over like a message that you're a foreigner, and then they see that white bearded face and pointy nose, and they're like, all right, this guy, he's gonna trash the place, or he's gonna leave before his thing is up.
Yeah, we're gonna need to do a good cleaning on our apartment. Kim said he got his deposit kept basically. His landlords tried to scam him.
Oh yeah. So the story is when I left my house, my apartment, and the landlord's girlfriend, the Korean, she helped us.
You just had to say she's Korean.
She helped us to
North
check
Korean
the
South
house.
Korean?
South Korean. She helped us to check the room, and she say so good we can leave, and the landlord is still at work. After he finished, he will send us the deposit, and it's like, okay, see ya. And after one day, I didn't get my deposit, so I contacted the landlord girlfriend, and she said, oh, your carpet is stink. And I say, what the fuck? You didn't tell me yesterday. And she said, it doesn't matter if I tell you or not. If I tell you, you're gonna stay here and clean it overnight or something like that. And it's like, you should tell me at the moment, so I didn't know it's the room have the problem, something like that.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's absurd.
the most crazy stuff is the landlord said, oh, you should come find me to check your check your room, not come to find my girlfriend. She's not the landlord. I am the landlord. I said, what the fuck? Oh my fucking god.
Yeah, especially since she told you it's okay.
Yeah.
She's not exactly. Oh, we should wait for Chris, wait for the landlord, right?
So I learned the lesson. The next time I will get the deposits. Before I get the deposit, I'll never just leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to get some sort of like contractual obligation, like this, some sort of writing or something.
反正他们就是很鸡掰。
That's on bogan. He probably doesn't have. Right. He doesn't have enough money to give you the deposit as well. He already spent it all. That's what the issue is.
No fucking way. You know how much he's rent the whole house?
Yeah, but he probably spends it all on like cigarettes and dart games.
He rent a house for like a $280 and for a week, and he have
his girlfriend doesn't have a job, does she?
Yeah, but he have 3 rooms, so each room he can receive $200.
Wait, how much did you say he rents the house for?
$280.
He rents the whole house for $280. Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
You said a week. You said a week.
Oh,
yeah, a week.
Oh, okay.
$280 for a week for a whole house.
$280 a
week. And he have
high.
4 rooms and 3 for rent, so he can receive like $600 for a week. Yeah.
Wait, you were paying $200 a week?
Yeah, that's right.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Fucking shitbag.
He's little slime balls. That's the thing, man. That people like that's. I will say, compared to Taiwan, most of the people, like we just mentioned that like they, sometimes they don't want to rent to foreigners, but for the most part, people are very friendly to foreigners here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind.
In certain countries,
she cut my rent.
That's pretty nice.
And she was honest about it. I was like, when I went to pay her, I was like, it's $7,000, right? She's like, no, it's $6,000. She could have just like lied to me and been like, yeah, it's $7,000. But she didn't say anything.
That's not fair.
Yeah, I mean, I was clearly willing to pay $7,000.
Did you sleep with her?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
On the broadcast.
That's how Ari got his discount.
Of course, man.
Discount.
This is a truthful podcast.
Yeah.
You can.
The truth is no, of course
Ari. All right. Whenever you feel comfortable telling us about how you got your discount, we all know to get that discount you got to eat that booty.
So inappropriate.
But, yeah, I mean, that's all right. I'll cut it if you want me to, but I'm not gonna actually cut it.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's it. It depends on. Every country is different, and I mean there are countries that try to screw over foreigners more or less, or are more or less nice to foreigners. And I feel like that also depends on region. I mean, if you go out into the boonies of some country, it might be worse than if you're in the big city, and potentially vice versa, I guess, depending on which country it is.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so what was it like working in a slaughterhouse?
It's fucking nice.
It's nice.
Yeah, I don't actually like get any blood on my suit or something like that. I'm just like.
Did you hear them die?
Huh?
Did you hear the animals dying?
No, never.
Did you see the animals dying?
No, never. I see a live sheep, but I never see a dead sheep.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess they close it off.
Seems like you got not the worst job.
Could you smell them?
No.
Because when I worked as a chemist before, when we went and we used to pick up lab samples at a slaughterhouse, and the smell was intense. And there was blood even outside the building. Like, I don't know where it came from exactly, but the floor was just a little bit coated with like brown sticky blood. It just kind of like leaks out of every orifice. But they were doing.
Were you a veg?
What's that?
Go ahead. They were what?
I think it's different. Like, the place Kim worked is a lamb slaughterhouse. Basically, they're processing the lambs for meat, more or less. But for cows, I think it's a little bit different because they have to separate the meat, and I think they use the blood and the ligaments for other sources, separate the hides. So I think there's a little bit more processing of the animal.
Let me tell you, we have a lot of apartments. So before our apartment, there will be the kill for like something different.
Different departments.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So when the sheep come to our face, like, then it will be like only the meat.
Yeah.
It's no blood at all.
Yeah, they've already killed them.
Yeah, you won't see any like furs or something like organs, something like that. You only see the meat.
But you saw the sheep going in. So doesn't it kind of feel weird to know that they were sheep a few minutes ago and now they're just cut up slabs of red shit?
Because I'm not a vegan. Like, if you really think about it, every time you eat meat, you will think about this.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe we should think about it.
No, just
why wouldn't you want to think about something you do every day?
Is it vegan broadcast? I'm out, man. It's too gay.
There's nothing gay about being vegan, okay?
I'm not even Ari's not a vegan.
Yeah, there's nothing gay about not eating meat. This is cutting out like it's not. I mean, okay. I think being gluten free is a lot more dubious. Let's say that.
Fair enough. I mean, so were you a vegetarian when you were working as a chemist?
Yeah. Yeah, it's disgusting.
I think that might have part of the fact that you could smell it more. Because I feel like my parents, for instance, they're vegan. They've been vegan for like two or 3 years now, and they like I've seen them post things about like, oh, it smells so bad in the meat aisle, but like most people don't notice.
Yeah,
that
but that's like the small spot. This place was pretty bad because when we would get basically water samples from them, and they were heavily polluted with basically like a combination of blood and fat, and everybody agreed that they smelled because it was not only blood and fat, but it was decomposed blood and fat. So anybody who came near those samples would complain, not only me.
That's fair, and also I feel like I don't know this. I'm just speculating, but maybe in terms of regulation, the regulation in Australia is higher than it is in terms of American farms, or at least the one that you were dealing with at the time.
Yeah, I'm really not sure. It's hard to say. I mean, I saw the factory Kim works at, and the factory size was probably about. It's hard to say because I didn't see the whole facility in America, but for the part that I did see, it was probably less than a sixth. And if this facility is as big as I think it was, then it was probably maybe a 10th to a 20th of the size. I'm not sure, but it's huge. The size of the animals themselves is different. A cow provides how many hundreds of pounds of meat versus a lamb is what, like, how much does a lamb weigh?
I don't know.
100 pounds?
I would say less than 100 pounds for sure. I would like a lamb, like a baby sheep.
No, like a lamb, like a full-size sheep, I guess.
Full-size sheep, I would say, would weigh between like 50 and 80 pounds.
Anyway, the size of the facility that you need to process a cow versus a lamb is probably totally different.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, an adult male lamb weighs from anywhere from 45 to 160 kilograms, which seems like quite a range.
Okay, well that's 100 pounds to like 300 pounds.
That is, yeah, true.
So Kim, what kind of people worked on the kill floor? All Sudanese?
Now, most of them are Sudanese, but still a lot of Taiwanese work there.
Really? Like the bigger ones, I guess.
No, it's not bigger ones. A lot of the girls work there.
Really? I thought there was like a size requirement. So
you don't have to be strong to work at kill floor.
The floor where they cut the carcasses, right?
Yeah. Some of them have to be strong. So some of them just cut a little part of the sheep, so you don't have to be strong.
So, the kill floor, those are the actual people killing them, or is it done by machine?
No, it's actually the people killed it. So we called it 第一刀, the first like a first blood, something like that. They will have special religion guy to kill it. I don't know what.
Oh, because for like halal and stuff.
Something like that.
Okay.
So they have to pray before they start killing, and pray after they killing.
Before they start killing, so what? Like they kill how many animals a day? Probably
4,000. 4,000 to 5,000.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So what did the people who worked on the kill floor think about their jobs? Did it disturb them at all?
I don't know. Sometimes you will see people like the blood covered over the heat and just come out and don't even care. Just the blood on his face. And just eat the lunchbox. Don't even care about it. Don't even want to try to wash it. And it's so stink. Fuck.
I don't know how you could do something like that without thinking about it. I mean, I guess you just get used to it, but like at least when you start, you must think about that.
Yeah.
I think you can rationalize it. I think you can rationalize it to a degree because, like, for instance, like I think if I worked on like a kill floor of a slaughterhouse, that would be a lot different than like for instance, we used to shoot deer and like butcher them up, and I would get covered in blood. But I was like, this is much more humane than like buying some mass-produced like slaughterhouse meat. So I think in some ways you can rationalize it in your mind.
It's one thing like shooting a deer from like 60 feet away. It's another thing like standing in front of something with like a pneumatic gun and just blasting the brains out of something and watching the life go out of its eyes.
True, but butchering the thing in and of itself is similar. I mean, like we would cut it up.
What he's saying is that there's actually it's split up. Like the butchering is done on a different floor. It sounds like so. There's just one floor where they simply kill them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, shooting a pneumatic gun into a cow's brain is very reminiscent of No Country for Old Men, and I think that would be disturbing to me. I don't know if I could do that for day-to-day basis.
Yeah, probably each person. How many people on that floor?
Kill floor?
Yeah.
100, I guess.
100. So each person kills 40 a day?
No, it's not like that. Okay, let me tell you. So, before kill floor, the sheep will like upside down to hang by 2 feet.
Jesus Christ.
And just
while they're alive?
While alive. And when they go to kill floor, this is a special guy, I think it's a special religion guy there. They will cut the first.
Oh yeah, they have to cut their throats first to keep it halal.
So only that guy cut the throat.
Oh my fucking gosh.
And when he cut the throat, the sheep will keep going, and
so they're just sitting there with the blood leaking out of their fucking neck, like still
alive.
Yeah,
that's right. And when we go through the machine just cut his neck off.
Well, they cut the head off.
Yeah, cut the head off.
So what do the kill floor people do?
Kill floor people, they will cut the whole body.
Oh, so they basically just do like the first butchering.
They're just trying to get rid of the fur and the organ. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought they were the ones actually killing the animal.
No. Only one guy killed that. It's like a.
So he kills like 4,000 a fucking day.
Yeah, just a guy.
Oh my gosh, that guy is probably fucking twisted.
That's easy. Yeah, I was gonna say that's easier to do. You just find like one serial killer that like has no empathy, like some sociopath.
Kim was saying that there's a religious guy, so they have like somebody, because like for halal meat they need to be killed by it.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. You can find someone you can find a sociopath that believes in any sort of religion.
You know what the most fucked up thing about that is? If they're all hanging there by their legs, basically they're just sitting in a line, so they see one of them die, and then they're all just waiting for their turn to get their throat slit.
No, there will be like a.
Oh, there's a wall they don't know.
Yeah, this is a wall. Say they don't know. We don't know what's going on inside. We can only see their people getting upside down, getting hanged, but they don't know what's going on inside.
It's that it slightly improves it.
It's slightly better, but I'm sure there's still like sounds that come out that they can communicate with each other. And also, I mean, if you get hung upside down, I think you're still in distress. So I think there's still like a lot of distress there.
If you've seen the videos of cows being hung upside down because of the weight, like, so I mean, a lot of times their legs get broken the second they drop them because they don't hang them properly. So they're just hanging there with 2 fucking broken legs, get their throat slit.
I mean,
and they're just hanging there bleeding out. Like, what the fuck? That's torture.
Even if you hung it properly, like it's the weight of that cow is so much. Like, so for instance, we just said a sheep weighs anywhere from between like 45 kilograms and 100 and something, and a normal cow would weigh well over 1,000 kilograms, especially once you pump it full of steroids and all the other things that we do to the cows, especially in America.
1,000 pounds or 1,000 kilograms?
Kilograms.
Really? A cow weighs as much as like a car?
Sometimes more. Like, I mean, if you do like a female cow, so a female cow would probably be like 700 or 800 maybe, and but a bull, like a male cow would be over 1,000 pounds easily. 1,000 kilos. Sorry, I keep saying pounds. It would be over 1,000 kilos. It could easily.
Fuck, man.
Cows are big, man. Cows are real big. I used to live on a cattle farm. They're massive animals. They're not super smart either, but they're interesting.
Jacked up.
I think it is bigger.
It would you see that's exactly the same. Like Jordan said, about 1,000 kilograms for a male, about 700-800 for a female.
Yeah.
What you said is almost exactly the same as what it says on the internet here.
Yeah.
Anyway, sounds like a really fun place to work.
Yeah, it sounds like a party every day.
So what Kim was also saying is that there's a lot of backpackers there, and basically, if you're not a native English speaker, it's actually pretty hard to find a service industry job.
Yeah, that's true.
What? Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, I can tell it's obviously if your English is not good enough, it's like the people is a customer trying to order something and you can't understand, so you're gonna be awkward, you're gonna be embarrassing, and you can't finish the job.
Yeah, I guess so.
But your English is really good, so I don't know why that would affect you.
What do you?
I think it's definitely not good enough compared to a native speaker. Like sometimes he says some slang, some like difficult words, and I can't understand. I can't just be like pardon again and again.
Me. When I go to Australia, sometimes I have to ask them a couple times because they say some weird slangy stuff. So what he was saying is that there's so many people, like so many backpackers and working holiday people applying for these jobs that with the competition, like why would they pick a non-native English speaker when they can pay the same wages to a native English speaker, right?
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, that's fair.
So basically they're stuck doing.
And I think they still have some like I can't tell you racist, but just a little bit racist. Like you want all your colleagues be Australian. You don't want it be like a fucking Taiwanese, fucking Vietnamese, like Japanese.
For the same reason that you don't hang out with like mainlanders, probably just like the cultural difference makes it.
Yeah. It's
harder to like be like, oh, let's get a beer after work or something like that with somebody who's just a little bit different from you.
Yeah, but I think that's ignorant speaking because not from you specifically, but I'm saying from those types of workers because, for instance, like I worked in a pretty multicultural environment when I was in college. Actually, in high school too, my boss was Indian, but in college it was even more so because my boss was Taiwanese. All the family that worked in there was Taiwanese, and then the people that worked in the back, some of them were Mexican and some of them were Vietnamese. And so it's like you get to experience all these interesting cultures and like different perspectives.
Yeah, but it depends.
So I think that's much more interesting to me. But I can also understand
with people who are working in like a service industry job. Like a lot of these people are like, whatever. It's like a restaurant or a bar. These aren't people who want to like have cultural experiences. These are people who are just hiring somebody to just get the shitty job done and like serve people. You know what I mean? I mean, you're like
I can understand that from like a boss.
Yeah, I mean, but that's who does the hiring is the bosses.
But my boss would hire. That's what I was saying. Is my boss? She was Taiwanese though, so it's a little bit different.
Yeah, that's totally different. I mean, I know in Canada a lot. I mean, like for instance, let's leave some names out of this. One of my Taiwanese friends who's doing a working holiday in Canada now. She says like a lot of the places that she ends up getting hired or that they like accept her resume are places that are either owned by like foreign non like European descent Canadian people or places that basically have a lot of mainland customers where you need somebody who can interface in Chinese and it's like a necessity. But for like regular service industry jobs it's really hard.
That makes sense, but I don't know, it's still kind of fucked up. Like I mean, and even some of the, I feel like even in situations like you were talking about where there's a lot of like foreign customers, and so you need someone who's like
bilingual,
not just a English speaking individual. Like a lot of the English speaking customers will get super frustrated super quick. Like the last example I have of that is like when last time I went to the U.S. I went through Dallas Fort Worth Airport. And a few of the workers there were like from other countries. Like I think one of them was Filipino, one of them was from somewhere in Africa. And like the people, there was long lines there, but it's because it's a huge airport and there's tons of people coming in, and it was a super busy time. And they're like getting frustrated with these people. Like they were like one lady, for instance, was like, "Oh, is this a like?" He said he was flying to somewhere. I forgot where he said in the U.S. and She was like, is it a domestic or is it like an international flight? And he was like, you don't know where that is, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, hey, motherfucker, can you just say, is it a domestic or international flight? Like, why is that such a problem for you? He's like, you're not even from this country, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, you're just being a dickhead, and you're making this take longer for you. If you would have said international or domestic, she would have pointed you in the right direction because she knows how to do her job. But because you're like deep down, you have some sort of racist animosity that you have to be a dickhead about it.
It's possible.
For real though, like those,
yeah. I mean, he definitely shouldn't have said that, but it's really frustrating.
Yeah.
To, like, I know personally, every time somebody like starts questioning me at an airport, I used to be like really scared, but now I'll immediately turn hostile towards them. If they start questioning me because I know I've done nothing wrong, I'll just fucking lash out at them.
But she wasn't questioning him. He asked her a question first, which is why I have to say that he's the asshole in the situation.
Yeah,
like,
probably.
Because he walked up to her and he was like, do I get in this line or the other line? And she asked him, is it a foreign or domestic flight?
Okay, I get what you're saying.
And he would...
I thought you were talking about like a customs person.
No. It wasn't a customs person. Most of the customs people and like the TSA people that I come into contact with are definitely American. So it's just like, all right, you're being the dickhead here. You either gotta calm down or you gotta realize that like this lady's not gonna like deal with your bullshit, and she has the right to because you're being the aggressor here.
Kim, did you ever have any problems with like customs there?
No.
Maybe because you're Asian, right?
I think, yeah. They're probably thinking like, he
because you covered your tattoos, right?
No, he's like, even I talk shit to him, he doesn't even know what I'm talking about. So,
man, literally every time I've gone to Australia, I get pulled aside and questioned about like why I'm going. Every single fucking time, yeah. Really? It's
interesting.
It's probably because I'm always going for like short periods of time, like 2, 3, 4 days, but still.
It's like smuggling drugs.
They're just like this. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but they never
like
search my bag. They just kind of question me.
Did you search your anal?
They definitely don't. They're just like, why are you coming here for a couple days? Like, and they'll just keep questioning me. I've never gotten searched, but they definitely, every time, they pull me out of the line and make me answer like additional questions. And it's annoying.
I got patted down once when I was leaving the U.S. The TSA were like, we found a suspicious substance on your laptop, and I was like, okay, that sounds like a ridiculous story. And they're like, we're gonna need a pat. Yeah, well, it was what it was. Who knows what it was? That doesn't seem like a suspicious substance. They probably deal with that on a daily basis. But they were like, we found whatever it was, and I was like, okay. And they were like, we're gonna need to like pat you down basically. So like in front of a bunch of strangers, this dude's like running his fingers through my waistline and stuff, and like putting the back of his hand against my nutsack, and I was like,
they love doing that.
All right, dude, like this seems, I mean, for some of them it's probably a power trip, and for some of them it's just like, well, this is what my boss told me to do. So that's what it is.
I don't know, man. It is what it is.
It definitely is what it is, but there is definitely, I mean, for some of that stuff, there is some. I mean, for that, well, obviously, it wasn't racism. Like, I'm a white guy leaving America, and I got my balls fondled by another white guy, so it wasn't racism. But there's definitely some racism in some of that.
Happens every time I go through fucking TSA.
Yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. I feel bad for the people that work in TSA, but TSA fucking sucks, man. I'm not a fan of that.
That's why I never go through those like naked scanners because the radiation. I always opt out and make them like kind of debase themselves.
You're just like, what's up, honey?
Like,
Feel my butthole.
Yeah, exactly. I'll take the free like little groin massage. It's okay with me.
Ari just gets some like sort of sick pleasure out of it. They're just like feeling him all over, and they get to his shaman, and he's just like, oh.
That's definitely not happening. It's just not a big deal. I think it's a lot more uncomfortable for them than it is for me. Like, I really don't give a shit, but I feel like they do, and it makes the whole TSA look like a really banana republic organization when like they need to like grope a 20-something-year-old guy every fucking time I go through security. That just like reflects on them a lot more than it is on me.
I mean, the thing is that I don't want to give the low-level people like a bunch of garbage, because like it's not really their fault. Like they're not the ones in head of like making the policies and stuff. But at the same time, Yeah, you should debase the whole TSA. That's their problem.
It reminds me of Get Out, man. Like the TSA guy.
I love that guy. He's like one of my favorite people in that movie, though.
Have you ever seen Get Out? No?
Probably didn't know it in Chinese.
It's the one with...
Can you tell me what is it about?
It's about like an interracial couple. Like an African-American guy is dating a white girl. And like she wants to go back to visit her family. So he goes with her back to like her small town. And the town is weird and there's like no like no black people at all. And like... I don't know. There's just like weird stuff going on. You ever see it? It's pretty good.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a super good movie.
Yeah, I saw it with Jordan and Abby. It's a nice romantic night for us.
I hear a song called "Party in TSA." You can watch it.
Oh yeah, Party in the TSA. It's like a spoof of Miley Cyrus "Party in the USA."
Yeah.
Good stuff, man. All right, so Kim spent nearly a year living in like, where do you go? Gold Coast. It wasn't Gold Coast. Where were you? Brisbane.
And Brisbane, Gold Coast, Melbourne, Colac.
Yeah, and now you're gonna go back to Colac, your
go back
favorite
to
city.
Colac. Yeah.
Hey, it's summer there now. You're missing the whole summer.
No, I'll still catch the
tail end.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell us what you're gonna do afterwards, after Colac, after going back to the slaughterhouse.
After that, we'll go to. I'm pretty sure. I'll go to Tasmania. Go to another meat factory. I think because there's all
a
good
fish
money
factory,
there.
right?
Yeah, fish factory.
So are you gonna kill the fish?
I think. You feel less guilty.
Jeez.
Maybe you just package them. It's hard to say.
I don't really know, but it's like if you work at a waiter or waitress there, you only get like $20 per hour. But if you work at the meat factory, you get $29 per hour.
29. That's almost as much as Gloria.
Fuck you, man.
I'm just joking, man.
And it's really hard to be a waiter. Really hard to get a job, because you can only be waiter in Chinese restaurant, and get shitty salary for like $9 per hour.
They're paying below minimum wage. You were saying basically.
Yeah, that's right.
It's garbage. If you go to Tasmania's got lots of wildlife. So in Colac, it looks like you kind of hung out in a big social group. But what kind of stuff do you guys do for fun there? In Taiwan, I don't really know what you do. You just go to night markets and like eat.
Go to the
play
mountain,
darts.
take pictures.
Play darts.
Play darts for sure.
Play darts. Anything else?
Yeah, what do you guys like? Because Tasmania is like more country and stuff. They got lots of wildlife. So are you gonna do any natural stuff?
Yeah.
Are you gonna learn how to swim?
We'll go to the national park, and probably go to scuba diving.
Are you gonna learn how to scuba?
Pause. Kim, do you know how to swim?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, okay.
Kim knows how to swim.
There's a lot of Taiwanese people that don't know how to swim. So you said
Kim
like, are you gonna learn
knows
how to
how to
swim?
swim.
I was like, joking.
I know how to swim.
Okay. All right. Just making sure.
And probably go to bungee jumping. I don't know.
Those are all expensive. But I mean, like day-to-day stuff. You're not gonna like do more hiking or something.
You mean every day?
I don't know. I mean, like I don't know.
We would definitely go out every week.
Some days he's just gonna fap and chill out on the couch, right?
He's there with his girlfriend.
Yeah, maybe.
Fap with this girl, you know.
Cherry want to go out every week, so my kilometer.
Kill
the
count?
Mouse, my mouse.
Your kill count.
my mouse, my car's mouse.
You're talking about your kill count?
Car's mouse. His car's.
Oh, okay.
The mouse.
What? Are you talking about S mouse? S mouse. Smouse.
里程数. There's a number.
Oh, the
number
odometer.
Yeah, probably the.
Okay, yeah, the odometer.
I get like a
200,000.
15,000 for 6 months.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
because you keep driving to Melbourne.
Yeah. I also go to the national park.
Yeah, that's cool. I saw you guys went back to that fucking, what is it, the 7 Apostles.
Yeah, again.
Without me.
With her parents.
Yeah,
That's messed up, Kim. That's real messed up, Kim.
Alright.
No, we went with Ari again once, but it's
Yeah, it was nighttime.
you can still see the shape, right?
Yeah, we basically saw the shape. Just basically.
Little silhouette action.
I think the north of Australia looks really sick, man. The north of Australia is like tropical and like really sunny and has desert and like beautiful places. But Tasmania looks cool too.
Yeah, maybe.
But you guys need to work, I guess. So I get why, you know.
Yeah, I think you need to work to get money. So
Yeah,
you
you
can
can go
travel.
specific places. But if you have time, you can do some more like road trip stuff.
I don't know.
You can save up some money. You
got a
might
knife?
know. Is that
Do you got a knife?
a knife? Yeah, why?
What's I don't want to leave anymore. It's so hard to leave.
Oh.
I don't want to go back to Australia. Fuck.
Really?
Nah, kidding, man.
Oh, okay.
Fucking love it.
I thought you were gonna make a Australian joke like, "Do you have a knife?" And Ari would be like, "Yeah, I have a knife," and you just be like, "This is a knife."
I don't really know how to imitate. No, imitate.
You gotta work on your Australian accent. All I know is like really stereotypical
He already
stuff.
changed it a little. Now you can hear. He says can't instead of can.
Yeah, and every time I say can or can't, they don't understand. So I have to say can't. So they will say, "Oh, you say can't."
So why are you calling me a cunt, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're just like Ari, you're a cunt.
Yeah. Oh, every time I saw Ozzy in front of me, I say, "Move, can't." in the factory,
And they're
just laugh.
they're just like, what do you say? And you're just like, oh, I say I can't get through. I can't get through. I can't get through. I can't get through.
He makes it sound
You
like
stupid cunt.
They love being roast. They just like
Roasted, yeah.
It's just so stupid. And every time I say, "Oh, you fucking cunt," it's just and every time I say stupid shit, you just laugh.
it's because you're Taiwanese. You can get away with it, man.
Yeah.
Also,
maybe.
calling someone a cunt in like Aussie land and also
Aussie
like
land.
in England and things like that. Like it's a lot different than saying that in the U.S. The U.S. like if you say that, it's like a very offensive term, but in
So sensitive.
Australia, Great Britain, things like that, it's just like that's just what you call your buddy.
Oh really? They didn't think so. I asked them before. Some of them accepted, some of them didn't.
Say what's up,
Some
Bogan?
of them say this too often.
You say it too often.
Offensive?
Yeah. So I say, how about
okay.
skink?
Skank.
I think it's okay.
I don't know. It's interesting how words have different sorts of meaning and power, even in the same language in different regions.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, let's talk elections.
Like, I mean, if you went to China and you said "ganinia," would they know what you're talking about?
Tainan.
No, you said if you went to China.
Oh, China. They won't understand, right?
Exactly.
Probably
So
not.
it's not technically the same language because it's Taiwanese, but you know, it's interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, there will be like a different language to them. But for English, you both using the same language.
So is there different curse word? I guess you seem
Different
like
curse
Ari
word?
might know more than you do because he's been to China more than you have.
Oh,
but,
cursing?
like, yeah, for cursing.
I mean, you don't typically hear people like cursing on the street. It's like cursing is like usually between enemies or friends. So no, I don't.
Yeah.
What would you
Yeah.
say?
I don't know. I definitely wouldn't know. I mean, we're like the most I hear cursing is when we talk to our security guards.
Oh yeah.
They love to curse, and they curse all the time. But
Really?
a lot of it, again, is like Taiwanese curse words. So
Did I do something wrong?
Why?
The security guard. Why are people cursing to them?
Oh no. We just like to go and drink with them and stuff.
Okay.
yeah,
It's
not at them.
yeah,
like
chat
we
with
just
them.
even when we come in the building, they usually talk with us, and they'll just be like, oh, and like Wenming will be talking, and he's just like talk, and just be like, God. It's similar to like an unrefined. He's not unrefined, but like like a more Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna have to edit that out. Just kidding. He's never gonna listen to this. But
That's true.
Like, like a lay. It's the difference between like a lay, like discussing something with a lay person and discussing something with like a quote unquote like higher class person. Like they just put on different airs. And they'll just be like, talking more fancy way. But like he's just like he doesn't care because that's just who he is. He's maybe more honest with who he is.
He's honest. He's straight.
He is a very straightforward man.
Okay, so Kim told me that his mother is going to force him to vote for Blue Party in the election. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that, Kim?
Are you gonna? Okay, yeah. Let's hear this.
Talk about what?
Politics.
Politics. Oh, okay. So, what should I say? How many fans you got? 80s?
Huh? How many things we got?
How many fans you got? The 80s?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not a big deal.
We have 80 fans and none of them are Taiwanese, so it's alright.
So what do you think of the two major parties, first of all?
I don't really know this because I don't watch news. I don't watch. So
you don't know how they're different, really?
Basically, I saw it on the street. I sometimes saw it on the Facebook. Sometimes news pops up and.
Okay, so tell us your impression of both parties.
Okay, both parties. So for the blue one, people would say they support the Communist Party.
Oh, the Communist Party, yeah. Well, yeah, keep going.
And so for the green one, someone say because the former president, he get I don't know, wash money, laundry money.
Oh, the corrupt.
Yeah. So they both have the good. It's too sensitive. This topic.
It's not sensitive at all. You can speak freely, man. Who cares?
I don't know, man.
We're gonna hear this, Kim. If anyone ever hears this, that means that our podcast is blown up so big that we'll just pay you Ibaiwan to just you can say whatever you want. It doesn't matter.
Jordan, you gotta cut out the sounds of you pissing just now.
Oh, did you? No. Oh, why you gotta say that? Because it's not on anything except for the fact that I was just on my headphones. I muted my mic, motherfucker.
Oh. Okay.
Now I may have to keep all this in just as a good conversation. But anyway, continue on. So,
okay, so do you think both of those are true?
Yeah.
So do you think that the Blue Party likes the Communist Party of China, and you think the Green Party is corrupt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. It seems like the Blue Party, Kuomintang is also corrupt. The KMT is also corrupt because they just had to there's a lot of dealings with their land, and they basically have ill-gotten gains where they got land illegally. So it seems
I haven't heard anything.
It seems
about that. I can't comment.
It seems I have to read more about it, but basically there's a bunch of assets that they have that are not legally gotten.
Okay.
Obviously, I think a lot of that comes from the martial law period. But the thing is both parties are corrupt. That's unsurprising. I mean, look at most political systems. All parties are corrupt, at least to some degree. But I think you got to look at what the outcomes and what the policy positions are for these parties.
Yeah, that's right. You should see the policies they have, and I don't really watch the policy show-offs at this election in November, but I hear people say 韩国瑜动算。
动算什么意思？
You don't know 动算？动算。动算 means someone.
Oh, 当选。
当选 yeah.
Oh,
but it's
yeah,
Taiwanese.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, people say 韩国瑜动算。
But he doesn't have enough hair.
Oh, fire.
开玩笑。
I don't have enough hair either, so you got to be easy on the balding people, all right?
I saw him. Okay, when I was on Green Island, actually, I was watching the news there, and he was on the news, the national news, for singing Taiwanese folk songs or something on the street or something like that. Why is he so popular? I don't understand.
I don't know either. I just saw his face on Facebook.
His face is everywhere, man. There's posters of him all over the city.
Yeah.
But Kaohsiung is supposed to be mostly 民进党.
Yeah, that's right.
So why is he so? Maybe he's not popular. They just post the posters and shit. It's weird, man. But I seen, if you go back to Zhongli, like before the election, you'll see there are so many more posters in Zhongli than there are here. Here there's a lot, but in Zhongli there are more.
There are a lot of posters here. Yeah, there are a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff here. I can take a picture out my window when it's light outside, and there's like five or six posters that you can see within sight.
It's crazy. I don't. It seems like maybe the North is a little bit more political than the South. Did you vote before, Kim?
Yeah, I vote every day, every year.
You just vote when your mom tells you?
Yeah, that's right. If I didn't vote in that way,
she won't know.
She would never know. You could just tell her, "Oh, I'm voting for party line,"
you shouldn't pick that.
And then she wouldn't know.
No, I don't want to lie to her. So.
Oh, I guess.
Just like, probably that's because I'm too selfish. I don't even care. So I just like, she wants to vote him, or I will vote him.
I don't know if I can get on board with that way to live. You gotta lie to your mom. It's in her best interest. It's in the country's best interest.
I don't know, man. It's hard to have a difficult political relationship with your parents. I don't know. I've been really lucky. I basically, for the most part, I politically agree with my parents, and when I like argue political stuff with them, usually they don't get upset. It's like an open discussion, but.
Yeah, I was gonna say my parents are following more and more. When I was young, of course, I just basically followed whatever they said, but as I got older, I disagree with them more and more probably. But we didn't like have a ton of political discussions. But maybe the last or the second to last time I went home, my dad and I had like an argument about politics. And it was like a little bit heated, but 5 minutes later we were fine. It was just like, okay, well, I think this and you think this, and let's think.
What was it about?
It was about
Roe v. Wade.
No, it wasn't about Roe v. Wade, and I
Trump.
I don't know how in depth I should get it, but I guess I'll just say it because my dad's pretty open about it, being like an honest guy now. Shut up, Ari. But we had like an argument about Trump basically, and like he wasn't in favor of Trump. He like was basically like, yeah, Trump's a bad guy, and I was like, well, like, you know, Hillary would have been better, and like, as you know, I hate Hillary. Like, I think she's a garbage candidate, and I think that's why the Dems are in the situation they're in right now, is because they ran a garbage candidate. But I was like, she's better than Trump, and he was like, I don't know. He didn't come up straight out and say like, no, like she's definitively worse, but he was like, I think she's a liar, and so I think like she would have been worse for the country. And
they're both liars.
Yeah, for sure. No, he's definitely not wrong about that, and that's what I said. I was like, yeah, they're both liars, but like he is de facto worse for the country, and like we got into like, I wouldn't say like a screaming match, but we definitely both raised our voices, and so like it's the nice thing about that is like I feel comfortable with that, and now I think that we would probably come to more of an agreement because both of us would if we have like an argument, we're not just going to have an argument and be like, you're wrong. It's okay, what did the other person say? Okay, I'm going to think about that. I'm going to do some research, and then I'm going to come back, and then we'll have another discussion later. So I'm pretty
I know what you're saying.
Lucky to have a father that like will actually like think about the things that I tell him, as opposed to just have like some argument and then just be like, well, my son's a fucking idiot, so I guess he's wrong.
I have to say, I mean, in the defense of that view, early on in the Trump presidency, I think that people were there was everything we knew about Donald Trump, there was still a question mark about how exactly he would govern, like in real terms.
Yeah, I agree to some degree. I mean, but that's the thing.
And I think that was the first summer after he was inaugurated. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it would have been about the first summer after. So that's the thing is I gave him. I feel like I was probably a little bit harsh, but I feel like I gave him some room on that. Like, I wasn't like, my dad's a fucking idiot. Like, of course, like, I really respect my dad because he's, like, a very smart, well-thought-out, well-researched person. But I felt that he was wrong on that, and I think he's come around to that now based on things that he posts now, where he's basically like, Trump is a monster. And I feel like, yeah, maybe he's a little bit more evidence-based than me, but I was like, I had inklings of, like, this is probably where it's going. So, but we again, like now we would probably agree on almost 98, 99% of that thing anyway. So it was fine.
It's healthier.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very healthy thing, and I feel like because my parents are both like, they're both very like they're both intelligent like people, and in addition to that, they're also like willing to do some research and willing to like admit that they were wrong. So I feel like that like I'm very I don't know, for lack of a better word, like blessed to have like good parents like that.
It's lucky, yeah.
Yeah, they're not gonna try to force me to vote the way that I want to vote, you know, or the way that they would like to vote. You know what I'm saying?
Kim, what do you think of Donald Trump?
I don't know. He's a cool guy. That's it.
Oh. Oh.
I don't know. At least he got what he want. He got the power.
3 wives?
No, I think he got probably that's one.
Stormy Daniels.
He got power. He got money. He got everything.
Who knows how much money
Not
he actually?
intelligence,
Who knows how much money he actually has though? And he doesn't really have that much power because I mean, yeah, he's the president of the United States, but like no one really likes him or agrees with him. So.
It's pretty likely too that he's going to go to jail within a few years after he leaves the presidency, because I think he's made himself so many enemies in the American people. I think that at least if he stays in New York, they're probably going to try him on some kind of financial crimes.
Well, yeah, they've already talked about the fact that they're going to maybe even try to try him on crimes while he's in office in New York, because they can do that.
It's probably not going to work. But after he leaves, I think it's fairly likely that like the prosecutors in New York, because I don't think he'll serve 2 terms, and therefore the statute of limitations for most financial crimes will still be open when he leaves the presidency in 2021, and they'll just hit him right away and just. I mean, he's going to probably spend some time in prison.
Yeah, it's very likely. It's very likely that he'll spend time in jail after his presidency, and it's also very likely that he won't win re-election. But like I always will add this caveat that it's possible that he does win re-election depending on who the Dems run. But
yeah, I don't think he's going to win again.
I also don't. I don't either.
Like
I'm just saying. Hey,
I don't think Taiwan will win again.
I don't know. I just feel good for him.
Probably not.
I don't know. He get what he won.
Don't feel good for him.
But what do you think about him as a leader? Like, you're talking about him as a person.
I don't even care. I mean,
you're so apolitical.
You want to talk about him as a leader, or
as a leader? Yeah, of course.
Okay, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't watch news. So.
What do you think of Taiwan Independence, Kim?
I don't know. You can be independent or no. I mean,
That's not.
Well, if it's not, then are you willing to be under Shidada's rule? Are you willing to be a subject of Shidada and not be able to use Line anymore? You have to use WeChat all the time. And you have to use.
No, you have to be independent.
You have to use.
As soon as you mention the internet, Kim changes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No more.
Oh no, YouTube.
No more YouTube for Kim.
I need YouTube, man.
If you don't.
When
have,
I asked him before, he's like, "What can I do?"
You didn't mention that.
Well, yeah, but I thought you knew that shit, man. If you go to China, it's pretty. Yes.
It's restricted.
Well, Facebook, YouTube. I mean, that's like just the start. I mean, you have to think about all the cameras that are constantly like watching everything you do.
Yeah, not to mention they have like a social rating system now.
Yeah, the social rating system.
Oh, I know that.
What's the Chinese for that?
Like a 10 yen.
10 yen.
10 yen, like a sky eyes.
Oh.
That's the social credit? That's the name of the social credit system?
What did you say again?
Social credit, like they give you a score.
I saw you say they have like the most camera stuff, right?
Oh. No, he's talking about...
I know what you're saying. It's like 你的个人评价吧，个人评分，个人信用。
个人信用，
个人信用，或是评分评价，我觉得都可以。
All right, do you want to hold this for a second? Do you want to get Abby involved in this conversation? Because I think she's here.
Okay.
All right. I'll
pause it.
I guess I'll pause too.
Okay. 好，我再录音。All right, so Abby's here now, right? Let's hear Abby's voice.
Abby, 他们要听你的声音啊。
等一下有蟑螂哎。 有蟑螂。
Well, it's too late. You
Take another
pushed it
shower.
on the couch. There's a cockroach in here, and
Abby,
instead of catching it, just like push it down on the couch.
So she brings a cockroach.
Kill it.
She comes from her house bringing a cockroach, and then she puts it in the couch.
Did she bring
like a terrorist.
Not only did she bring a cockroach into the house,
我家如果
so she came into the house. She didn't show up here on time to record the podcast because she was taking a shower for like multiple hours, and then comes here and right away goes in the bathroom. She's like, "Oh, I need to go in the bathroom." Then she comes in here and she's like, she throws a cockroach onto the couch, and then she's like, "There's a cockroach. Oh, Jeebus."
怎么办？他如果等下跑出来，我会吓死。
Well, if he jumps out, I'm gonna throw it into your little manpo. Abby's also eating on the podcast, which is like a major no-no of podcasts. Like,
No wonder there's cockroaches on the sofa.
yeah, surprise,
I
surprise.
just sat down and the cockroach is like, 好恶哦。
Abby Bangsai.
The cockroach crawled out of her katsun.
他如果等下跑出来，我会吓死。
Yeah, well, we're gonna see what
Okay,
happens.
maybe let's stop talking about Abby and her buns, and her shower.
Kim 吗？哎 ，Kim 在哪里？ Hi Kim。
这里啊。
哎，好久没听到你的声音哦，好想哭哦。
哭啊！你哭完还在洗澡。
靠腰哦，好想念你哦 ，Miss you so much。
我们还会再上去啊。
上去哪里？
Yeah, why aren't you coming this weekend, Abby?
哦。
Is Jordan coming? Jordan, are you coming?
What time? Depends on the time.
Whenever you want.
I can come Sunday after I have my one-on-one.
超晚的。
Yeah, that's really late. You come to Kaohsiung for like 4 hours.
That's what it is. I mean, I don't have. There's nothing else I can do. I didn't have my one-on-one last week. She canceled on me last week, so I didn't, and I don't have her line or anything.
Oh, so you can cancel on her.
No, because it's like 2 days away, and I don't really have the option. I don't have her number, so.
Oh, you don't have her number. Just be like, I can't leave the bathroom right now.
I've been pooping all day, girl. You gotta let me be.
How old is she?
16.
Oh.
Yeah, her. It's like my aunt's friend's daughter. My aunt's friend's daughter. So.
Yeah, let's stop talking about underage girls. Let's talk about Taiwanese politics now that Abby's here. Kim's favorite topic.
Here we go. So
Again?
Kim's being forced to vote by his mom. So Abby.
Are you going to vote 韩国语？
你这么知道？
可以，你要投韩国语是不是
Yeah, that's right.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, that's right. Why is that good, Abby? What policies are you in favor of his?
Yeah, what's he gonna do for Kaohsiung, Abby? Can you explain?
It's like he got a good economy policy.
Okay, detail.
Even though like
Like what?
Detail that. No. Don't go into but blah blah blah. What's good about his economic
Don't
policy?
mention his hair even once, Abby.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about his bald spot.
他很帅。
Abby,
Abby likes powerful.
for all
men.
listeners, any man who has like both his legs, Abby will say, "Oh, 他很帅啊, he's so
Are we recording right now? Are you gonna
handsome.
put this on
This
the
is
pod?
going up.
Oh my god.
This is going online, Abby.
Abby, do you remember the Indonesian man that we saw outside of Costco?
Looked like a
the long hair one?
disheveled boy, and
Yeah,
Abby was
you
just like,
still remember
"Oh
him.
my
She
goodness,
still
so
remembers him.
handsome." She has dreams about that. 她有诗梦，就是 thinking about that guy.
Okay. Alright, so tell us about Hanguoyu's economic plan. What's he gonna do, Abby?
I didn't read the detail about his plans.
So
So you know it's good, but you don't know anything about it.
it's good from what my mom told me. My mom said it was good, so I think it's good.
No.
So what's good
So
about it?
You don't know anything about it, Abby?
Don't say it's good if you don't know what's good about it.
I didn't read detail about like 他的政见的英文是什么
Political views.
Political views 是吗
Okay, yes,
Yeah.
his political views. What are his political views? She
I have no
forgot.
idea.
Of course, Kim doesn't know any. Kim said he doesn't care about politics. He's just voting because his mom told him to. Oh my God!
This whole situation just proves that most of the people who are voting in this election have no clue.
They don't have any idea what's going on. It's not that dissimilar from America, but it makes me so sad.
This is pretty bad. Like, if you're gonna say somebody's like really good and they have really good policies, but you don't know any of their policies,
you can say you're gonna vote for someone. That's okay, but like, why? Why are you gonna vote for him? If you don't have any reason to say that, I don't know that you should be voting.
Well, she's not voting for him. He's a Kaohsiung candidate.
I can vote for him.
But you're still gonna vote for a bunch of people that you are probably in a similar vote for you.
Here, let me ask you this, Abby. Can you tell us about the Kuomintang's economic policies, all of them, for the upcoming election as a party?
我怎么会知道? I don't know.
Because you're
not voting for them.
You're a Kuomintang voter. You're gonna vote for all of them.
No.
Who are you gonna vote for in the upcoming election?
你说桃园的，我要投郑文灿。
Why?
我觉得他这4年做的还蛮，不是这4年，我觉得他
So
做的还蛮好的啊。
what did he do? What?
建设啊，他的建设啊，对桃园的一些建设。
Like
Hey,
what?
we have an English
Like,
audience. You have to speak English.
Like all the, like the MRT
Policies.
or like airport
The
all the like.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but that's been like planned since 1985.
That's been. Yeah, he's not wrong. Ari's not wrong. That's been like literally the first time I came here. They were like, this MRT is gonna be was planned to be done 5 years ago, and I was like, oh, when's it gonna be done? They're like, next year. That's what the government says, and then it was done like, it was just finished like last year.
It's finished like in.
Okay, while he was in
Well, it's not
office,
finished,
but that
actually,
doesn't matter.
because it
It's
doesn't go-
obviously not
It's
finished.
supposed to go to Bata.
Yeah, it hasn't been finished.
And it's not
There's
done.
still construction in
It-
Zhongli over that.
Yeah. I think the estimate now is about 2,100.
靠腰。
I don't know that you may not be wrong, Ari.
Maybe we all
They
die.
may take well, we're all gonna die of climate change by that point. The world will be underwater at that point, but
By 2050.
and the whole world won't be underwater by 2050. I would say 90% of the population is gonna be dead.
Kim is like, what is going on?
Anyway. So why?
Is that true?
Why? What?
No. Well, I mean, this is some people are guessing that like the water levels
They're not.
will rise and
I mean,
will cause
to
like
say
some
guessing is like a
climate
little
activity.
bit of a stretch. Like they're doing like, I would say it's at
They're
least
doing
yeah,
projections,
it's
okay?
an
They're-
educated guess. They're scientists.
There are projections.
But even though you know.
But yeah, nobody. I mean, of course, nobody knows for sure. They're not like, 2050.
Yeah,
Everyone's
of
dead.
course. Yeah, you can't say for sure. But Abby, let's get back to who you're gonna vote for and why you're gonna vote for them. Why are you voting for the candidate you're voting for?
Yeah.
What are they gonna do for Taiwan?
Because I feel like he's been doing good.
Like
Since,
what?
he's in the
Okay,
media.
besides
like MRT and then also
okay,
like
besides
all
the MRT that we already discussed has been talked about for like 25
like
years.
all the local gym.
The local gyms? You mean private businesses?
GYM gym. It's near your house.
The private gyms.
That's
Are
a
those
popular one.
those are created by the government?
Yeah, it is public. You just have to pay to
And
use
you
it.
can
So you still have to pay for it.
But not like expensive. Maybe like 100.
Yeah.
Okay, so
They
that's
should just
good.
open a
That's
library
good.
instead.
And in addition to that,
And
so he lets people exercise for a subsidized rate.
Because he's
Okay.
fat.
So he's fat. So he says, "Oh, I'm fat, but you plebeians, you underclass, you should exercise more." Okay, that's okay. I mean, I think gyms are a good thing, and they should be created and help people be more healthy. I think a healthy society is a good thing. But what else?
I think that's a fair enough set of policies. I don't think Abby's concerned about like long-term stuff. She's just
That's
like, she's a concrete voter, you know what I mean? She just wants to like see things. Sometimes.
Even though they have-
Except for employees.
one thing. I mean, that's a good thing. I'm not disagreeing that like creating public gyms is a good thing. I like that, but that's not enough for me to be like, you're the candidate that I'm going to vote for. I would have to look at what the other candidate is going to push for.
These are you know these are local candidates though, right? Like they do have party affiliations, but but they don't necessarily follow the national.
No, I know that's what I'm saying is I would have to see what the other candidate is pushing for because the other candidate could be pushing for the same thing and maybe more or something that's more meaningful than a public gym.
There's a website. I don't know if it's gone online yet, but it talks about the policies. Anyway, I want to ask both of you. You guys are gonna vote in the referendum?
And neither of them answer.
Do you know what referendum means?
I don't know.
No.
Is it 公民投票?
Oh yeah, sure.
So what are you gonna vote for the? There's a whole bunch of stuff for gay marriage. So what are you gonna vote for the gay marriage ones?
Yeah, I will vote for a gay marriage, but I won't let the gay topic in the elementary school.
Okay.
They're gonna put that in elementary school, but I'm not sure because the kids will know the difference between like bisexual and homosexual. They will twist their immature mind.
Well, you have a really detailed view on this, Kim.
So.
Okay, how about you, Abby?
Vote for what part?
So let me tell you a funny story, Kim.
Yes.
I talked to somebody who developed one of the textbooks that's being used for the English program in Pingdong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like in general, like the low-level English ones, they have like a apple, b bird. So the KKK is KKK kissing, and the picture that they use in the Pingdong textbook is of two
guys.
Yeah, two guys kissing.
So the whole thing is just like asexual, bisexual.
No, what I'm saying is before this law is in place, this is already being used. Like that textbook is years old, so maybe the law doesn't make a huge difference in the end, anyways.
Yeah,
because we're already doing this. Like
this is only one picture, so.
Yeah, but the kids are like, this is a little like 5 or 6 year old kid, and they're like, oh yeah, two men kissing. That's okay.
They can't even like see this is a guy or is it a woman. Is a male or female?
I don't know.
Yeah, probably the short hair female, something like that.
I think part of that is I think part of that is just the ambiguous nature of it, and I think that's what if kids see that from a small age and they see that it's ambiguous and it doesn't matter like. Then they learn a lot of things like okay, well if I'm a female and I cut my hair short and I think that looks the best for me, then that's okay. And if I like someone who is quote unquote of the same sex or gender as me, like then that's okay too. Then why not? Who cares? It doesn't affect anyone else. So I don't understand.
Kim cares.
I think you have to be like go to a junior high school or
senior high.
You have to be more mature, like a complete.
Why do you need to be more mature? Why does it matter?
Because when you're young, you don't understand like a lot of stuff, and you think like, oh, it's gonna like two men is fine, and I don't know how to say it in English, but
I would.
You just
go ahead. Sorry.
You just can't.
I would say if you're young and you see that sort of thing, then you're going to think it's okay. So if you're going to vote in favor of gay marriage, then why would you say it's not okay for people to think that way? Would be my argument.
What he's trying to say, I think, is that basically, like, it's one thing if you're naturally gay or naturally have gender questions, but for kids that are that young, they're still developing, basically. And historically, we've always developed with essentially... I shouldn't even use the word gender. Two basically sexes and a lot of gendered norms that go along with that, and maybe that it would confuse the social order and cause kids to kind of, if kids are too early exposed to these kinds of questions about gender, that instead of developing naturally, and if they truly have like gender identity crisis, then they'll realize that once they get older.
But if you only show them these sorts of images from when they're small, then they're gonna put that into their ideas and say, okay, well I've only seen like girls and boys kissing from when I was small, and so maybe you can say that you shouldn't show any kissing until you're that age. But at the same time, I feel like if you explain to a young person that like a person that's very young, that it's okay for a boy and girl to kiss, it's okay for a girl and girl to kiss, and it's okay for a boy and girl to kiss. All those are acceptable, and none of them are necessarily right or wrong. Like, you can understand right and wrong from a very, very young age. So I don't think that there's any reason to say that the one is better or worse than the other. You can explain better or worse. Like a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old, 5-year-old understands the difference between good, bad, and better. Like, you can say like, oh, this is 比较好嘛, and you can see some, 这是一样, 都一样, this is equal. Everything is equal, and I think that's okay.
So let me ask you this. From a normative perspective, if you think, okay, like nobody would say that, like, let's say you have a gay kid or something, or you have a gay friend, or you're gay. I think most people would say that's not necessarily a bad thing. But what would you say if everyone became gay?
But everyone's not going to become gay. Gay again. This is
just like a thought experiment.
From a thought experiment.
It's just a thought experiment. I'm saying,
of course, that would be in some.
Fine, of course, not everybody. Let's say 70% of people are bisexual.
But sexuality is not created by society. So I think your premise is fucked up. But if you want to go on that premise, then you could say even lesbian couples, you can get semen from other places and become impregnated. So it doesn't affect the society in any serious way anyway. So I feel like it's a moot point. But fuck conservative. I don't care about conservatives. I don't care if you're conservative. I mean, yeah, you can rally against that, and you can say, of course they're going to go against it.
I know you're saying you don't care about conservatives, but most people, it would cause basically a huge unraveling in the social construct of society. Like, it's one thing to call yourself a conservative. It's another thing if... I'm not saying that 70% of people are going to become gay, but this is basically like the idea that they're thinking that... Listen, you're talking about 5 and 6 year olds. These are kids who basically don't know what attraction is.
They don't know what sex is, and I'm not saying you teach them about sex when they're 6.
But I'm not saying
when they're 6 years old.
They definitely know the difference between being a male and female. I mean, that's very early, but they don't understand anything about sexual attraction until they're maybe about 10.
At least.
So
yeah.
I think the fear is if you start teaching kids if you start giving them basically cues about it, liking girls or liking boys or something like that it will kind of shift the normalcy and make it more acceptable.
I don't understand why you have to sexualize it. You don't have to sexualize it. You just say some boys kiss boys, some girls kiss girls, and some men kiss women.
The act of kissing is
so then don't talk about kissing. Then don't talk about kissing. Is what I would argue. If you're not going to sexualize it, then don't sexualize it at all. And if you're going to sexualize it, then say it's all okay.
What's the bill talking about? What's the bill talking about in general, Kim? It's talking about teaching them what? Just teaching them bisexual people exist? What is it teaching them exactly?
You didn't say detail. Just say teaching.
Shit, these are backwards.
No, it's alright. You just say.
Sure. Teaching them what?
You didn't say in detail. It's just saying put it. Homosexual stuff.
Just references to it?
Yeah.
For elementary school or for junior high school?
I think it's in elementary school.
So what does it say, Abby? Do you know any more details?
Either like Kim said, it doesn't say any detail. You just say like, is it okay to put like a homosexual, like educate them homosexual thing in a textbook in elementary school?
But there's like such little detail in that. I mean, what would that include? Would that include like... Depends how you frame it, right? You could be like, here's a man and his dick is in this man's butt. This is cool.
Yeah.
Or it could
just be
like
sick.
Or it could just be like, two guys kissing or something.
We'll have the coolest textbook in the world.
I mean, there's like a huge range of how you can frame that. So okay, maybe let's not get any deeper on such a obviously complex issue.
Let me tell you, if you put the homosexual stuff in elementary school, you're gonna cause more like a gay. You're gonna make more gay.
Okay, so Kim is echoing exactly what I'm saying. Basically, that
and let me tell you, I don't say gay is wrong, but gay does cause a lot of wrong stuff. Like if you get married like as a gay, and you say that you have to borrow semen from others if you are lesbian. and so
Is that a problem?
That's cost the money. That cost like the child's not yours. But the DNA is for others.
Keep going. Sorry.
So it's like it twists all the no more.
So you're thinking about it. You're saying, I mean, from like a kind of conservative perspective, that like society's gonna change.
Yeah. So I was saying that if you teach them when they get older, they will cause less. You will make less gay happen. So the less of them will.
What I would argue, happen, Kim, is if you were taught that being gay is okay from a young age, would you not be with your girlfriend right now? Would you want to have sex with boys?
If I got teach the homosexual stuff when I was young, probably I would.
You think you would like boys? If you think you would want to have sex with men if someone told you that it was okay to have sex with men?
I don't know. Depend on the detail.
But I don't.
Yeah, I think it depends on how they frame it.
I don't think that's. I mean, maybe, but I don't think that's true. I don't think it's accurate to say.
I don't see why it's necessary to teach this stuff at all, honestly, because it shouldn't be anywhere in school curriculums about sexuality. Sexuality should be left out of school.
I don't know if I totally agree. I think sexual education is important in schools.
Yes, but sexual education doesn't begin in elementary school. Anywhere in the world.
That's not accurate. I mean, for my school, yes, I would agree with you. But there are schools where it begins in like 5th or 6th grade, where they separate
11-year-olds are not sexually active.
but they separate boys and girls, and they say that like this is what happens to boys and this is what happens to girls. So it is a thing.
But that's not sex. That's not sex ed. It is puberty education.
It's in some way puberty education, but. There are some people still left out of that.
So maybe, okay. Let's talk about the other topic, which is maybe a little bit less maybe less or maybe more. There was another one about changing the name of the Taiwan Olympics thing.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
So you're not gonna vote for that?
Yeah, I'm not gonna vote for that.
Why?
Because if you change the name, the China is gonna like China won't let us. To use our name, to use what did you change?
They wanted so the proposition is saying that Taiwan wants to try and force the International Olympic Committee to change the name from Chinese Taipei to Taiwan, I guess.
Oh yeah, if we change Chinese Taipei to Taiwan, China won't let us to use that name, so we won't get into Olympic.
But so they kicked Russia out of the Olympics last time, right? And basically they allowed the Russian athletes to compete, but they weren't allowed to use their flag. And that's basically the same as Taiwan now. Taiwan can't use Taiwan. I don't think they can use the anthem either, right?
Yeah, if we change our name to Taiwan, it means Taiwan is gonna be independent. So China will be pissed off. So it's like
fuck China. All right, that's all I gotta say is fuck China. I don't give a fuck what they think. I mean, I understand it's a little different from a perspective of like a Taiwanese citizen, because you have a lot more to lose than I do. But at the same time, fuck them, man. Fuck China. They don't have it. They don't control this island. Yeah, Abby, what do you think? What do you think that Taiwan should do? Do you think do you think Taiwan should? Yeah.
Even though
how are you voting on that?
Even though we vote for this and then we wanna like change for Taiwan, I don't think that it's gonna happen.
So what? Regardless of what you think will happen, what do you think should happen, or what do you think is the best for Taiwan?
If you want, I just think like if you want to just like change the name of like in Olympic to Taiwan. And then we should also like change for the passport name, all of the name.
The passport already says Taiwan.
Like Republic of China.
No, it's not.
It says 中华民国 Republic of China, and then it says Taiwan.
You can also put stickers on your passport now. They say like Taiwan and things like that.
But it already says Taiwan on the passport. It doesn't say Taiwan Guo, but it says Taiwan on it. Yeah.
It does say it definitely says Taiwan on the passports.
But we still have the Republic of China.
And that's fine, but even if you in the Olympics you don't represent Taiwan doesn't represent itself as the Republic of China. It represents itself as Chinese Taipei.
Yeah, they're Chinese Taipei,
which is not
anyways.
the same. Even I would even say, and I wouldn't say Republic of China is as good as Taiwan, which is why even sometimes I have problems with like the name that we have on our website, because I think that like calling ourselves China is like a little bit interesting, but definitely the difference between Chinese Taipei, because it's not Chinese, it's Taiwanese. It's Taiwan Taipei.
Well, it's the Chinese identity, but the Taipei is stupid. So let me ask you two guys this question. Let's say the bill passed, okay? And China, of course, is going to be like, no, fuck you guys, you can't compete as Taiwan, and blocks Taiwan from competing under. Mm-hmm. And probably with Taiwan's government, it's possible that they're not going to change it back. They'll just be like, okay, then we'll just boycott the Olympics. Maybe don't come to the Olympics. Don't you think it would give Taiwan some good attention in the world, maybe? Be like, look at what China's doing, like, and Taiwan is being strong, and like, they're not going to come to the Olympics because China's being a bully.
But China is strong, so
China's strong,
how can they do? We are not their like ally, so what are they gonna do? They just like support on internet, leave some comment. That's it. Is there any government gonna help us?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
No,
I'm saying, do you think the pressure? No. Because if you do something like that, it puts a lot of attention on the government.
If any government want to help Taiwan, it's like it will be against of China. But China is strong. Nobody want to against
America wants to go against.
Yeah, but
against China.
Yeah, America's going so hard against China right now.
But for like a economic.
They have a military boat going to the Strait of Taiwan right now.
It still makes a difference even if it's for economic reasons. Like if America opposes China, it will still create just people seeing that. And then like I know Ari and I would agree with him, rallies against like these European nations that like say they're like for human rights, and then basically don't recognize Taiwan as a state. But then you put those people in a position that says, okay, what do you think about this? Like you have to take a position, and you might be right that they might not in the end take a position on it, but you put them in a position where they have to at least make that decision.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm surprised at the way you two guys are gonna vote. I thought more young people would support the change of the name. But I guess you guys are afraid that China will just say no, and you'll just have to change it back anyways, right?
Because the athlete is gonna lose the opportunity to go to Olympic, so I won't change the name.
I know what you mean.
But my issue would be: do you think that the Taiwanese Olympians, the athletes that go to the Taiwanese Olympics, are gonna win? Abby said no. so does it matter if they don't go? Because of course if they go and they win, that also gives like Taiwan recognition. But Abby said no flat out when I asked that question. So that seems to say that like if they weren't allowed to go, if they were banned from the Olympics, then that would give like so much more of a recognition to Taiwan. And maybe I'm wrong about that, but that's just my sense.
But maybe they go to the Olympics anyway. They just like when the Russians basically got banned from the Olympics. Like the athletes still went. They just weren't allowed to like wear the uniform, and they couldn't use the flag. But they were still, instead of calling them the Russian athlete, they called them the athlete from Russia. It's like almost the same thing.
And also, in addition to that, if
instead of being like the Chinese Taipei athlete, they'll be like the athlete from Taiwan.
Agreed. And if they did. For some chance, like I think one that like the Taiwanese government should push further for like pushing athletics. Not that I think athletics are more important than like education and things like that, but if they did push for that and they gave them like a lot of money, at least more money, and said, okay, we'll support you, and then the Taiwanese athletes did really well and they won. And they were like, oh, well, you can't compete as blah, 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 but you're still allowed to compete in general. And that would give so much recognition. There would be so many stories written about that. They'd be like, oh, like this athlete, like, even in spite of like not having technically like a country, like they like won, and they're like this hardworking athlete. There would be so many stories written about that, and that would give Taiwan so much recognition.
If they won, yeah.
Or even did well. Even if they didn't win, like if they did well, it would just be like such a boost to their like recognition.
But I feel like
as opposed to the fact that Abby already said that they're not going to win, so they go there under Chinese Taipei and they lose, and then it's just okay. Well, they're Chinese Taipei, so it's just Chinese. Like the majority of, I mean, even people that like when I tell them the name of Taiwan in the U.S., they're just like, "Oh, you mean Thailand?" And I'm like, "No, I don't mean Thailand. I mean fucking Taiwan. You stupid piece of shit."
Thailand.
So you get more of that name recognition out there. It's important. It's important for people to understand what that name of Taiwan means. You know?
So do you guys think that Taiwan should just leave things be, or they should try and push for more independence?
Just leave things.
Leave things be.
Yeah.
难怪你们很蓝色.
No, if you you think the government really that corroborate.
Corrupt.
Oh, corrupt.
Yeah.
Corrupt. Do you think the government really corrupt? I think they just like trying to get the. I don't know how to say it. They don't want to push too hard. They don't want to. They're just trying to find the middle of it, and because China, I think China is really like. Pressure us so hard, so the government just don't want to push it too hard. If they push it too hard, China will be like do something.
Like what?
I don't know.
Do you think China would invade just because of just like a stupid thing like the Olympics?
No, it's just not just. It's not. It's a thing, but China won't see it as a thing. China will see, oh, it's a move. You take this move, so you disrespect us. So China gonna take another move. I think so.
So like let's say 100 years from now, do you want Taiwan to be independent? You and Abby.
Of course, yes.
Abby, you too?
Maybe.
Abby.
Yes.
Hello. In 100 years from now, do you want Taiwan to be independent?
Yes.
I guess yes. So it's probably better because China keeps getting stronger every year, and Taiwan is gonna have less people every year actually. So if Taiwan wants to make a move to try to be more independent, it's probably better to do it while China is still a little bit poor and weak and America is still strong, than waiting for China to get even stronger and America to get even weaker, and Taiwan to have less people. Don't you think?
Yeah, I agree with you.
你不觉得吗？压力吗？
I don't know, man.
I'm just asking. It's okay. It's okay to disagree with me.
Yeah, all opinions are welcomed.
你懂我说什么吗？
Yeah, I know. I mean, who knows America gonna do thing if China is fucking with us?
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true, but
If we really do push hard and China really do stuff to us and America just watch and we just fucked up.
yeah, if America, yeah, but that would be.
So you're talking about
It's a risk
evolution.
for Taiwan. It's a risk, but the risks only get worse over time. Right now, there's a possibility America will help and save Taiwan. Maybe 30 years from now, America will be weaker, probably, and China will be stronger. So maybe it's better to take the risk now than later. That's just what I think. Maybe, I don't know. What do you think?
I'm thinking about it's like so Taiwan right now it's like if we keep like being this situation, this relationship with China, if we get we probably get like a 20-year peace and China still like
Try to take it. So
yeah,
why not take a risk now?
But if we take a risk right now and we fail and we just
then you lose 20 years. But if you win, then you win forever.
Right now, the chance of winning is like low.
I don't know. It depends who the United States president is, honestly. That's the biggest thing. Donald Trump is so unpredictable. I don't know what he would do. But if you had a strong U.S. president who supported Taiwan, Taiwan could do whatever they wanted.
Do you think like America is gonna be?
The United States could beat China. It depends. That's what I'm saying. It depends on the president of the United States, because America could beat China any day, any time. Basically, probably for the next 20, 30 years. No. China is very strong compared to a lot of countries, but not compared to America.
Yeah. You're at the right point, but it's like how much it gonna cost if America against to China?
America defended many countries against China before. They defended South Korea when China invaded North Korea, and not China, when China and North Korea were basically trying to invade South Korea. They defended.
Yeah, I mean, is it really worth to America to
a lot of Americans, yeah, but it's hard to say. It depends on the president, right?
Is it really worth to save a little island, Taiwan, to against of the big country?
For a lot of
values.
Americans, it is.
Yeah, values.
It is though. It's
not worth it.
It depends. It depends on the person you talk to, because there are a lot of people that they would talk shit on, like Venezuela or things like that, where of course it seems like that's like a small insignificant country in the global landscape, but when you talk to Americans and you say, okay, well, this is like communism versus democracy, if you frame it in the right way, it means a lot to those people.
It's also, the closest thing you can compare it to is Ukraine, right? Like with the annexation of Ukraine, a big country, big nuclear armed country came in, took the territory, and nobody did anything. But you can't compare it to something like that, because Ukraine was not a United States ally. Ukraine was barely friends. The United States has defended Taiwan and has to defend Taiwan by law since the 1970s. And basically, I don't know for sure, but I think that
there are senators. There are U.S. senators that have come out and said that they will defend Taiwan, and that we should defend Taiwan.
Yeah, so there's that bill that's in place. It says that America has to. Let me look it up.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah. While you're looking that up, like there are people like Rubio who I like fundamentally disagree with on almost everything, but have said that we should defend Taiwan because like it's what we said we're going to do. So you got to hold up to your end of the bargain, you know.
I would hope so.
I hope so.
I really
too.
would hope so. So it says, oh yeah, here, okay. It says it will make available to Taiwan defense articles and defense services in quantity as necessary to enable Taiwan to maintain self-defense. And it says it will consider any effort to determine the future of Taiwan by other than peaceful means a threat to peace and security of the Western Pacific area and of grave concern to the United States. And it says requires the United States to have a policy to provide Taiwan with arms of a defensive character and maintain the capacity to resist any resort to force or any forms of coercion that would jeopardize the security, social, economic system, or the people of Taiwan. So it's not 100% clear what it means, but the law is still on the books. So yeah, your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Yeah, but it's better. I would say my argument is it's better to do it now while the United States is strong and China is still relatively weak than to wait for China to continue to advance its military prowess.
I would concur. I would concur.
That's
with
my
that.
perspective.
But again, we're both foreigners discussing this sort of policy.
Sorry, you were reading that? It says this is just for the Republican Party. So it says the Republican Party in 2016 in their official platform said, "Our relations will continue to be based on the provisions of the Taiwan Relations Act. We confirm the 6 assurances given to Taiwan in 1982 by Reagan. We oppose any unilateral steps by either side to alter the status quo in the Taiwan Straits, on the principle that all issues regarding the island's future must be resolved peacefully through dialogue and be agreeable to the people of Taiwan. If China were to violate those principles, the United States, in accord with the Taiwan Relations Act, will help Taiwan defend itself. As a loyal friend of America, Taiwan has merited our strong support, including free trade agreement status, the timely sale of defensive arms, including technology to build diesel submarines, blah, 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 blah." So here are the 6 assurances. The United States would not set an end for termination of arms sales, will not alter the terms, will not mediate between China and Taiwan, will not consult with China before making decisions about U.S. arms sales to Taiwan, will not alter its position about the sovereignty of Taiwan, which needs to be decided peacefully, and would not pressure Taiwan to negotiate with China, and would not formally recognize Chinese sovereignty over Taiwan, period. So yeah, nothing clear, but yeah. Anyway, interesting shit. Good talk, you guys.
Seems like it's, of course it's hard to tell, but I don't know. I feel like you
I don't know. Kim's been a soldier. Kim probably has something to say.
No, I have nothing to say.
Kim says that Taiwan doesn't have enough bullets.
All right, hey, I wanna ask Kim, 'cause I've heard this from foreign news sources. I've heard that Taiwan's defense policy in terms of China. Basically, there's like an 8-minute rule, and it says like, what is it? I think it's 8 hours. 8 hours. And like basically the rule boils down to like 8 hours of like the whole defense policy is like you try to defend for 8 hours until the Americans can arrive. Is that accurate in terms of your training?
His face says no.
你们俩现在在一起哦。
No.
Okay, you don't have to give any sort of Taiwan state secrets, but I was just wondering because like someone told like I heard on like a pretty prominent YouTube channel with like hundreds of like more than 1 million subscribers. They were saying like they visited Taiwan and they said like Taiwanese military people told them that, like basically the way that like Taiwan would defend itself is like to protect itself in a way that would allow for like the military of America to arrive after a certain amount of time.
So just basically to hold Taiwan for a few hours.
Nobody tell me before. I don't know.
That's just a theory, right?
Yeah,
of course, that's not based on
like
anything.
A theory.
Concrete. I read another theory that it was basically saying that like it was contrasting that, saying that Taiwan's, because of the situation of Taiwan, basically that it's an island and it's actually very difficult to arrive ships, that they would actually be in a pretty decent position to defend themselves for a long period of time. Basically, actually the Taiwanese military, the Taiwanese Air Force is basically at complete parity with the Chinese Air Force. So as far as air domination, I mean, there wouldn't be any clear advantage between the two on one hand. On the other hand, China has a very, very big land and sea army, right? Mostly land, but basically the Taiwan Strait is so like the waves are so high that there are only maybe 2 weeks out of the year where like they could actually get enough boats to land enough Chinese troops to make a difference. Does that make sense? Hello?
Yeah. Are you talking to us? I thought you were asking Kim.
Yeah, I'm talking to everyone.
Kim. Yeah. I've read that same article. I read the same article as you. Yeah.
Oh, you have? Maybe you sent it to me.
One of us sent it to the other one for sure. Because I've read that article. Basically, it says that like there are like tunnel systems and things like that, and also like the parity between the Taiwanese and the Chinese military is basically comparable.
Air forces.
Of course, like.
Well, it's comparable in certain dimensions. In air, it's definitely comparable. I think in terms of manpower, it's not. But China would have no way of effectively getting them to Taiwan. It would be extremely dangerous. And also,
I think the thing is, if the Chinese try to invade Taiwan, one, there are allies that would come to Taiwan's defense, and even if they didn't, they're like, what are they going to do? Carpet bomb Taiwan? Are we going to turn this into like a second Vietnam? And if they do that, then there's even more likelihood that even if there aren't allies to Taiwan, they're going to say this is a human rights violation.
Yeah, but China doesn't care about human rights. If they're going to kill everyone in Taiwan just to capture Taiwan, why?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a waste of time for the Chinese, which is why I would say that like it's not in the Chinese best interest to say we're going to just invade. I think invasion is very bad for the Chinese in almost any sense. I think their best.
I don't know. I think China cares less and less, man. It's a totalitarian state, and all they care about right now is legitimacy with their own people. Right now, they don't care about legitimacy abroad because they don't fucking need it. They have enough cash.
Of course.
So if they capture Taiwan, man, they're legitimized.
Of course, but if they go after Taiwan again to use that sort of source. It's not a good idea for them. They're going to stir up things. You can't capture Taiwan in like a half an hour. That's not an option. So I think to sell that to your people, like you can sell it to the Chinese people because it's easy to do that because you've propagated them with so much like misinformation, and you say, "Oh, Taiwanese people love us," but if China invaded Taiwan, it would probably take months and months, and they would kill millions of people. And if they did that, that's a clear violation of just like human rights. And I think that.
Yeah, but you say that like China cares, man. Do you know how many?
But that's the thing is, it's not just China that has to care about it. That was my whole point. Is that China doesn't. Of course, China doesn't give a fuck. They don't care about like look what they're doing with the Uyghurs right now in Xinjiang province. Of course, they don't care.
But that's the perfect example. And China also doesn't give a fuck about what other countries think.
But it doesn't matter what they think. But it matters what they think if it gets to the level that they're destroying human rights, and to the fact that like other countries are willing to go to war with them, and that
I don't
might
think
be
any
the case.
country.
You don't think the U.S., especially under Donald Trump, with this huge economic war that we're doing with them right now, he wouldn't be like, fuck it, let's go to war with them.
War between nuclear armed states is not like an easy thing to predict because of.
So then I would argue the exact same thing that you're arguing from the opposite side. I would say you're arguing that that Taiwan should argue independence, and I would agree with you. But if not, then I would argue that China should just invade Taiwan. Why wouldn't they just invade Taiwan?
Because I think it's the same from their perspective, because they invaded the potential of war with a nuclear armed state.
But you just said what you just said was that they don't care.
They don't care about what other countries think of them, but they don't want to be destroyed by war.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying is that
they're betting on the fact that nobody will intervene. That maybe economics they can deal with. They're just betting on nobody militarily intervening.
So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I agree, but that's what I'm saying is I would argue that like people would feel the need to intervene. Maybe not. But if they don't, then I would say that's a failing on the part of other nations if they don't feel like they should intervene, because it's basically you have all these people crying out that like they don't want America to become a communist nation because they want to create like nationalized healthcare. But if they weren't willing to like go to war with another country because it's a communist nation taking over a democratic nation, then I think you have a problem. You know what I'm saying?
Jordan, sorry, the pausing is you're gonna have to realign some of the audio at this part.
It's okay, it doesn't matter. I'll figure it out. I still have to edit the first podcast that we recorded.
Yeah, I didn't send it. Anyway, you want to call it?
Yeah, we can call it.
It's been a good discussion.
We can call it a day. I feel like the two beautiful Taiwanese people that we had on this podcast stopped talking about 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, because it's mostly us native English speaker foreigners talking right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
So thanks you guys for talking.
Yeah. Hey.
No worries.
Hey, Kim, how long are you back in mainland Taiwan?
24 hours.
Oh, for real? How long actually?
How long?
How long are you in Taiwan?
How long are you going to be in Taiwan before you go back to Australia?
2 months.
Okay. All right. We'll meet up. We should also do some more podcasts. I feel like we had some good discussion. I mean, we recorded for 2 hours and it was quick.
好啊。
不是压力很大吗?
Yeah.
We ask you difficult questions, right?
你不知道。
It's okay.
Who fucking cares?
Yeah,
Are you kidding?
it doesn't matter.
Again,
who's gonna listen?
Again, we have 80 followers. It doesn't matter.
It's not like Kim's mom is gonna listen to this.
Yeah,
My mom will listen to it.
Will she
She'll
understand
be like,
it?
how dare you tell people that I've asked
She'd be like,
to vote blue?
She'd be like, how dare you go on a podcast that I don't understand at all because I don't speak like English. How much English does your mom understand?
Alright, I'm gonna stop recording. Okay?
Alright.
So say bye bye.
这样就要说拜拜了。我们不能再聊天一下吗？
So as Abby mentioned, Liao Tianixia we did. And now we're here. It's a couple days later. Apparently got a cold from one of my students, and or the weather, and or a combination of both. So I would like to apologize for my voice. This should be up, I believe, on Wednesday. And the same night that I post this, we'll probably be recording another one. So I would just appreciate everyone that listened. I would ask that you guys comment, let us know what you like. Do you like us being a little more silly, or do you like more serious stuff, political stuff, or do you like both? But either way, thanks for listening. I would appreciate if you like and follow our page. I would really encourage people to go read Ari's article on the book Fear by Bob Woodward. It's a really, really good article. Also a great book, but if you don't have time to read the whole book, I would encourage you to go read the article, as it's a pretty great synopsis of what's happening there. So just like, comment, share. But I really would like to hear feedback from people. Tell us what you think. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys again soon. Stay in touch. Thanks, guys.